One of the unfortunate things that government has done is phasing out teacher training college.
It impacted negatively on the products from the primary schools.
After experimenting with the NCE for almost 30 years, we have come to the realization that it has not replaced the teacher training college.
If the primary school is good, if the secondary school is good, what you just do in the university is to polish them.
St. Joseph's College, Uzor, was a teachers training college founded by the missionaries, the Catholic mission, I think in 1955. Now, as at the time I gained admission to St. Joseph's College, Uzor, the school was headed by Very Reverend Father J. Higgins, an Irish priest of the SMA ilk.
Now, the purpose of teacher training colleges then was to ensure adequate manpower for the primary schools.
Is to train those who will mold character of our children, morally, academically, and every other thing that will make you to wade through the labyrinth of the life journey.
As at the time we were there, we discovered that it was actually meant to train teachers, and they were doing exactly that. It was one of those good schools around.
The picture of what St. Joseph College was is that the end of one activity was the beginning of another. There was no dull moment. Because as we were in the boarding house, we wake up at 5 o'clock to do cleaning. After that, you take your bath. You go to the hostel, to the classroom to read for a while. Then the bell goes. You move to the dining hall. You eat from the dining hall. You move to assembly. From assembly to the classroom. From the classroom, you come back. You go for prep. After that, you go for games.
I tell my children, when we were in St. Joseph, there was a growing up pattern.
Competition was pretty high, so that's one of the few things I found out in the HSC. People were competing with each other to study hard to become the best student in each and every course. Man, it was fantastic.
The drama, when the school acted Things Fall Apart, I can't forget the actions then and all that. It brought to life that great novel by Chinua Achebe. You understand? So whenever I see that novel and they talk about Chinua Achebe, my mind goes back to that night, when this thing was acted, and it was beautiful.
Somebody will be eating. You go there, you share the food with him, you even drag the food, and you are eating, you are smiling. So there was this communal kind of life.
When we go out for marathon races on Saturdays, when we go out, we used to do cross country. We used to run from Uzoro to Owelogbo and come back.
In aspect of sports, we were very good at sports, especially football. And whenever we are going out to play football, there's a song we normally sing. We are going, heaven knows that we are going. We know we must win. Anywhere we go, we know we must win. Anywhere we go, we know we must win. We are going, heaven knows that we are going. We know we must win.
Children, whether they were true or not, we went to consult some oracle in town, and then we won the match. And we say they helped us to win the match. There were a lot of funny things that we did, though. And there were people who were jumping the fence to go out to go and do all kinds of things.
impact St. Joseph has made in my life? I think whatever I am today is by the grace of St. Joseph. Whatever I am today, after giving the glory to God Almighty.
Assuming we were not committed, we were not devoted to education then, we wouldn't have been where we are presently. So St. Joseph's College has impacted positively on us when you look at it from that perspective.
We were a little more mature than our age because of that foundation of teachers training college that we had. The reason is that when you are going to be a teacher of the class, you're a teacher to a class, no matter how small or young the children are, you were the captain of the class. So we took leadership. So if you like, call it the leadership training. We took leadership training very early in our lives, and we tended to be the leaders of our groups, whether we were younger or not.
The impact of St. Joseph's College on me is that it infused in me the spirit of striving, the spirit of hard work. Like I told you, our success was based on hard work. I wrote my GCE in class 3, which is presently SS3 they call it. And is that in that GCE, I made the 5 credits that made me to get admission to the university.
Luckily, when I entered school then, I was seeing myself as an old man. Not really because I was old, but having worked for 3.5 years, I thought I was an old man. So when I entered the school, I had the motivation. This Ozoro thing that we got from Ozoro as a student, I think I should reenact it here. Why will a small boy who is just from secondary school beat me to it? When I've been teaching, that's a secondary school for almost 3.5 years. The secondary school boy just got admission, I will be in the same class. Then will perform better than me. I say it's not possible. So I had to sit down, seeing myself as an old man. So I had to sit tight to read. But we got having on our side. I came out the first in class. I made my 2-1, and I was the best graduating student. I got a prize for that. So after my youth service, they asked me to come back here.
One of the unfortunate things that government has done is phasing out teacher training college to get grade 2. That is the level at which students are taught really what to do, how to bring up children in the primary school.
Never we felt so bad having phased out St. Joseph Teachers College and converting it to a secondary school.
Nowadays, they no longer learn the basics of teaching. Methodology. The methodology is abnormal. School dropouts will go to the MC, do for 3 years, and come out of the class.
We're taught to prepare for classes. When you were taught how to write lesson notes, that was preparation. You read around the topic. My friend and colleague mentioned the teaching practice. We had 2 years of teaching practice in your Form 4 and your Form 5. And the exam, the teaching practice exam, was examined by people who came from the ministry to look at you as you teach, and they scored you.
What they have now, we have teachers who know nothing about the teaching profession. Teachers who know nothing about methodology, who know nothing about class control.
So General Gowon knew the value of the teacher training college and its product. That is why he made it free to encourage people to go there with less stress by providing virtually everything we needed. And that even in our final year, they were paying us salary, 8 naira every month.
The College of Education is a higher institution for training teachers. Now, you don't have the basic, which is the teacher training college. So, it was wrong for government to, abolish teacher training colleges.
Like what we're experiencing now, there is a lack of manpower, lack of facilities. The secondary schools are so many.
The focus of the teaching profession, very many of them, how much do I get from the system? Not how do I affect characters. That's why you see teachers, after teaching students, still go to show them in exam. That is why you see today that schools now collect money for examination malpractice. Principals are involved. Teachers are involved.
Teachers are no longer committed. There are so many factors why teachers are not committed. In our time, we're excited to go and teach. That's the truth of the matter. We're excited. We researched, we asked questions to, and everybody wanted to excel as a teacher. And when the results come out, in my own set, for instance, probably one of us will have told you that in our set, when we left teacher training college, we're the best graduating school of that year in the whole of Bendel. And we're number 3 in Nigeria of all teacher training colleges.
But for them not to have continued that thing, because it was a great thing, training teachers for even primary school level, I'm sure that is where the problem is. If you have trained teachers to actually teach people, not just people from secondary school. I know a lot of people today, some of them have NCE or something like that, but the motivation has to be there. The motivation has to be there. You are not just teaching because you have opportunity or because other jobs are not available.
We are bleeding internally, those of us who went to the teacher training college. We are suffering what we call internal hemorrhage because of the scrapping of the teacher training colleges. Because we look back to what was imparted in us and what we need to impart in others today, and we weep. That is because it is true that we were on a ladder climbing in order to boost the educational system of this country, and somebody just came, collapsed the ladder. We fell down, and to start restructuring another ladder, a defective ladder for that matter, that cannot take us to the promised land. So government should still look inward, should still look at themselves and look at the education of this country, because any country that does not progress educationally cannot develop. That is the truth of the matter. And for education to develop, the foundation is very important. And for you to get the people who will lay the foundation, the teacher training college is very important.
The problem is big, and it has gone very far. But it's not beyond redemption. It's not beyond redemption. What we need now are leaders that have virtue. Because it is the value system that has been corrupted. Hard work has been replaced with quick riches. Intelligence, studies have been replaced with quick results through exam malpractice. It's what shows in your paper that people take. So it's only the government too that can come with policies.
But if I'm asked, assuming I put a position tomorrow to say reform the educational system, I think we have to start from the base. If the primary school is good, if the secondary school is good, if those two are put together, they are good. What you just do in the university is to polish them.
Reverend Father James Higgins was posted to Nigeria after his ordination in 1951. He told us that by himself. And he had this, like I said before, he had a singular fortune of being a trainer of teachers, because his first posting was in Midwest, and he was posted to whether Zaure Teachers College in the northern part of Bendel, which is now Edo. Now, from there, he moved to other training colleges, but where our lives intersected with him was that in 1973, he was posted to St. Joseph's as the principal.
I would prefer you calling him St. Higgins instead of Father Higgins, because the man is a saint. He has a way of stimulating you socially, educationally, and psychologically.
And most of the things we achieved there, it was through him. And we are ever grateful to him for that.
He was a disciplinarian.
He was my friend, my mentor.
In every aspect, Papa Higgins was interested in our growth.
It did help us to focus on our ethics be of the right behaviors, but he was also a very forgiving man.
You know, when you're leaving a school, the principal will write a testimonial. What he wrote there is what I grew up to become. So he's somebody who was even seeing ahead of you.